and so Loki is like, I have an army, and they're like in the middle of like New York. Okay. And like Loki has all this army of aliens behind him, and the Avengers are standing there, and Iron Man, Tony Stark. He's like, sorry, let me back up. So Loki says, I have an army. So I just told you about the aliens, right? Yeah. Okay, Loki's like, I have an army, and then Tony Stark, who is Iron Man, or Robert Downey Jr. is playing him. It works better if Loki says, I have an army, and then Tony Stark goes, we have a Hulk. And like the whole theater just laughed. And that was probably number 2 most like happiest memory I think I have.
Cool. So you said you had something for the intro?
You know that moment when you catch your reflection and notice your hairline creeping back? Well, Hims makes it simple to actually do something about it. That's right. I use Hims to keep my hair because I don't want that hair going anywhere except for on top of my beautiful head. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/supermega. That's hims.com/supermega for your free online visit. Again, that's hims.com/supermega. Featured products include compounded drug products which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary. Based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride.
Something happens when you get older. Believe me, I know. You still celebrate 420, you just gotta plan it way better. It turns out, relaxing responsibly just takes a little more strategy than it used to. That's where IndaCloud makes it easy. IndaCloud is a fully legal online cannabis dispensary for gummies, exotic flower, premium pre-rolls, and zero sugar THC sodas. SuperMega love IndaCloud, and that's me, Ryan McGee, saying that. I know if Matt were here, he'd agree with me as well. If you're 21 or older and a new customer, go to indacloud.co. That's .co, not .com, and use code SuperMega for 40% off your first order. That's indacloud.co, code SuperMega for 40% off all month long. Shipped discreetly to your door. Plus, free shipping on orders over $50 and $30 in free gifts and qualifying orders. And don't forget to fill out the quick survey when you order to support the show. Please enjoy responsibly, and big thanks to IndaCloud for supporting your 420 plans.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
Give a dog 119,
120th, 110.
Oh my God.
Close though.
Oh my God.
Damn, we got a voice crack right off the bat too. So I mean,
I feel embarrassed. I thought we were farther than we were. I was thinking of the Animal Crossing episodes.
Well, we're not on 120 of those.
No, we're on 20 something, and I think I got some wires crossed, and I created a hybrid of 2 separate memories.
You created a bastardization of our various content series.
Dude, I love movies where they create a hybrid of like something and then human. Splice, where Adrian Brody has sex with the alien/human hybrid. I think he has sex with it.
I haven't seen it.
Luke, can you throw up the answer if he has sex with it or not? You might have to look it up. You might have to ask Grok or something.
You might have to go on Grokopedia or just watch the whole movie if you want.
I wonder, Luke, have you seen Splice?
Throw the answer up there. There you go. You got all sorts of things just to start it off. You got a voice crack. You got a silly Ryan mishap. And you even got some Luke cameos.
And you can throw in some text-to-speech of whatever your answer was, so the audio listeners aren't left just clueless. That's not like the movie, one of your favorites, I know. But
hey, get in, loser. Let's go shopping.
See, I gotta stop you from quoting it all the time, dude.
Hey, you just gave me the. I've been waiting. I was hoping, honestly, before we started recording, I was like, please give me a chance to quote Clueless, and there it is. That's Clueless, right?
Yes.
Where she's like, get in, loser.
I think, or that might be Mean Girls.
No. It's Clueless. Zach Fox has a rap song. where he quotes it, and he says, "Get in, loser. Let's go shooting." Like a gun.
Then I don't know what happens in the Heathers, but is it a stabbing that happens in the Heathers?
Dude, I haven't seen the Heathers.
Do you know what it's about?
It's a musical.
That's about as much as I know as well.
They all start kind of mixing together. I start thinking of Rent, and I start thinking of Evan.
I think Rent
Evan
and the
Marshall.
Heathers are very far. Rent is 5,000, billion, 600 minutes.
It's 525,600 minutes.
I was just doing an exact recreation of not Neil deGrasse Tyson, but Neil Patrick Harris's first time performing, because he played one of the characters in the original Broadway production of Rent.
Okay, but wouldn't Neil deGrasse Tyson do a great job?
He'd be a phenomenal job, maybe as Angel.
Like 525,600
minutes.
stars. There's that many stars in the Milky Way.
Technically speaking. And then he goes off on a rant, and he actually informs the audience instead of the audience being their eyes looking like a pinwheel because they're being hypnotized by liberal propaganda.
I highly recommend the Adam Friedland show episode with Neil deGrasse Tyson, because it's one of those times you see Neil deGrasse Tyson really in a... it's not often that Neil deGrasse Tyson meets someone that's on the same level of intelligence,
on the same intellectual playing field.
Exactly. And Adam Friedland matches that, and he calls him out. He calls him a freak. He calls him a because Neil deGrasse Tyson was on the. He tries to play this
on Star Talk Radio.
I know, and he tries to play this character all the time of this nerd, whatever. But he lets slip that he was on the wrestling team, and all this stuff. And Adam he toasts that ass of his.
Toasts it.
He toasts it left, right, and center.
I haven't seen it, so I can only imagine.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think my favorite cameo of his.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Come on, dude, you spoiled it.
I didn't spoil what it was from. That's still fun.
Zoolander 2.
Which I've only seen once. You've seen more than once, and you said it's actually... You didn't like it like I did as much on the first watch. You liked it more on the second watch, if I'm remembering correctly.
So you and I got the rare, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go see Zoolander 2 early.
Yep.
Before it hit the theaters.
And why is that, Matt?
Well, let's just say a certain Markiplier got an invite to go see the movie early. He added us as not just his +1, but his +2.
Yep.
And we got to go see it. And I love Zoolander. You love Zoolander. And it's a great comedy movie. Ahead of its time, in my opinion. And then we went and saw it, and we were both kind of like, well, I mean, it was free. I don't want to say.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we laughed here and there. It was somewhat it kept me entertained throughout, but it was just kind of like the first time, I will say, there was that feeling of sequel energy of we're just the greatest hits collection from the last movie, which is almost how I felt about Anchorman 2, because Anchorman 2 is very much just all the hits of Anchorman 1 thrown back in and made longer.
Well, Zoolander 2, I remember leaving that movie going, But then, when did we see that? Was that 2015, maybe 2016, early 2016?
Time has...
Yeah, it was... a long time ago, and then I ended up rewatching it later on, and years later, and I was like, oh, you know what? It aged a little better than when I saw it, and then I saw it again in recent years, and I was like, okay.
So the third watch opened your third eye.
The third watch, yes,
to the genius that was Zoolander 2.
It kind of it touched me in new ways that it didn't touch me in 2015, 2016.
Okay.
It seems like the humor, I don't know, the humor aged a little bit better now, almost. So
without expectations. Of you
maybe.
Already knowing what happens and knowing kind of like what it is. You're not like going in. I will say, it's hard to. It's good to form your first reaction, of course, but it's hard for me to really have my full opinion on a movie unless I see it like 2 times fully. And that's not to say you can't judge a movie. Like, first experience is like super important, of course. Like, if there's a movie you fucking hate, you're probably not going to find much to like about it on your second watch.
Right.
Or if you like loved a movie your first watch, you're probably not going to end up hating it upon second watch. But like for a movie that you won't mind seeing a second time, I feel like there's a lot to get out of it, a lot that you notice, a lot of stuff, because the first watch you're paying attention a lot to like the plot, what's going on, you're interested, you're in the dark. Second time you know everything, so you start paying attention more to like background things like extras or side characters or dialogue where it's like, oh my god, that's why they mentioned that before, that type of shit.
Yeah. Well, also you briefly just touched on it, but I feel like there is something about a movie like Zoolander 2 where it's it's like a long-awaited sequel to a movie I've loved forever. So my first watch, I have certain expectations, and I'm kind of like, I guess the best way to put it is there's a certain way I want it to be, even if I'm not trying to like preconceive a notion about it. It's like my brain has ideas of what I want this to be, and if it doesn't fully match that on the first watch, which very few things really would match what you truly want it to be, it's always going to be, especially when time has passed, it's always going to be like slightly different. So I think it's easier to feel a little bit more like off-put on a first watch, but then when you go back and watch that again later on, you don't have those preconceived notions in your head that you're like checking off boxes for almost subconsciously.
The curtain's been lifted.
Yeah, the curtain's been lifted, and now it's like I go into it, I'm like, it's whatever. And then I think maybe going in with that new baseline, knowing that it's already going to be something that I feel a certain way about, or it's just that expectation isn't there. It leaves the door open for more pleasant surprises the second time. I guess that's a good way I can put it.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to think of examples of like movies where on the second watch
Borat
it
2
got better for me. I have only seen that once.
I've only seen it once, and I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if that would be one maybe that like, because we had such a preconceived notion in our heads of what we wanted that movie to be, and then it just was not. And I remember we were watching it all together the first time, so excited, the weeks and the months it finally ended, and it was time to watch Borat 2, and I just remember
we were jonesing for some more Borat.
We were, and I remember it was kind of quiet when we were watching it because none of us wanted to be the first to be like, so this isn't as good as we wanted it to be, right? So I wonder now though, if we revisit it, if two things: A, that preconceived notion is gone, but B, we watched it right at like the peak of COVID, and I know that COVID kind of put like a fog over everything that came out during that period, especially if they referenced COVID, where it was like, ugh. So I wonder if now, in retrospect, watching that, if it would feel a little bit more...
I don't know, but that's one of those movies. I'm not sure a second watch could help it out too much.
It had funny moments.
In my head. There were funny moments.
I can't remember any.
I will watch it again at some point. It's nothing that I'm really like. It's nothing that I'm wanting to commit 2 hours of my precious days to.
Right.
Where it's like, actually, something just an example of a movie that I like more second watch was Kubo and the Two Strings. I remember not really liking it as much because of the goofiness of Matthew McConaughey's Beetle character. I
saw that one in theaters with you, and if I remember correctly, I didn't even know that Matthew McConaughey was in it. So and somehow I don't think I even caught that was him while I was watching it. It's crazy because someone can have a super recognizable voice, but unless I'm like looking for a certain voice actor, I might just completely miss that it was that person.
If it was a cartoon or like anime or some shit, my ear would have went like twitched a little upon hearing his voice. And be like, Wait, I hear something. Wait, that's Matthew McConaughey.
Your McConaughey
Yeah.
would have gone off.
All right. You go back and watch, and he's literally saying all
It's
the
like
McConaugheyisms.
the first line of the Beatles. Like, all right. Do you remember his Super Bowl commercial way back in the day, driving a Lincoln?
Was that like when he was doing the Lincoln Lawyer?
Maybe that might have made sense of why it was. I just remember it was during the Super Bowl, and it was him, and he's like, "I was driving a Lincoln way before they paid me to drive a Lincoln."
In the Lincoln Lawyer. You might know me as the Lincoln Lawyer.
You might recognize me from things such as the Lincoln Lawyer.
But I like to think of myself as the Lincoln Everyman. He's like rugged, like on some farmland doing donuts in like a wheat field.
I see,
like in a Lincoln.
That would have been a much more memorable commercial if they let us direct that.
He's just stuck, like the mud's like flying everywhere.
And well, that's the
It's
point,
not an
though.
off-road vehicle. It's a fucking Lincoln.
It's a Lincoln. It's a luxury vehicle, and that's the whole point. See, that's the whole point. This isn't some Ford that you can go off-roading in. That'd be a great commercial, and I'd remember it.
A luxury vehicle just doing poorly in rural landscapes would be an interesting way to advertise your luxury vehicle.
I think it would work though, because like when you see a commercial for a Lincoln or any really nice car, are you really like in your head? You're not thinking of like, man, but I wonder if I could take this baby mudding. No, you that's for the hicks that you grew up with to go do with their RAV4,
their ATVs,
their ATVs,
or whatever those like caged golf cart things are.
I know what you're talking about.
Dune
buggy?
No. Dune
buggy. I know what you're talking
but
about.
for mudding,
dude,
where it has like the fucking racing checkered flaps on it.
That's sick. Honestly, you and I should. I had one of my friends growing up that lived in my neighborhood. He built a
robot.
Oh well, essentially, he built a like a go-kart from scratch.
That's cool.
And this kid was like way smarter than me. He was like a little super. He was like if baby geniuses weren't babies and they were like.
He was like a kid genius.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it was something else. He told me, he's like, I'm going to build a go-kart. And I was like, good luck with that. And I should have remembered that he's actually smart. And he did. He got like a longboard for skateboarding. And that was like the base. And then he actually got like a motor and all this shit on it. And it just got me thinking maybe, you and I could do that. Because,
build a go-kart?
We could build a go-kart. We don't ever have to worry about traffic again, because next time, think about you're driving to the office and traffic is doing Los Angeles traffic stuff out of nowhere, boom, bumper to bumper. Instead, because lane splitting is legal if you're on like a motorcycle or something, just imagine us in our little go-kart just, traffic, I don't think so. And then just
now,
zip between everyone.
Imagine this idea combined with another idea, which would be tandem bikes, but we do motorized tandem bikes.
Like a tandem go-kart?
So we're just like two people just like lightning.
Two people, one bike.
We're doing all like this shit with our goggles and our helmets that are like this long.
We're like aerodynamic, so we have to be like, basically whenever we
what was that?
Whenever we go into lane splitting mode. Normally we can be on this and it looks like two bros just having a great tandem bike ride. But then there is like sports mode where it's like, all right, get ready, and we have to lean forward all the way, just really maximize the aerodynamicness, and then just it's almost like in a movie where they go into like warp drive, where it's like.
It's like in Pacific Rim when the two drivers lock in and they have to like connect their brains.
Exactly. For us to be able to like, because drivers in LA, I don't trust them, and lane splitting on a tandem bicycle definitely
probably one of the safest ways to get around Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I feel like we do need our full brain power just to be on like the lookout for people that maybe aren't paying attention. For us, they might be like merging over, and then we would smash in the back of them. If we combine our brain power, not Lincoln like the car we were just talking about.
Or the Lincoln Lawyer, or Abraham Lincoln,
or LinkedIn. Great website. But we can combine our brain power, so then it's like two genius brains focusing fully on the road, with the reaction speed that's twice as fast as a normal human adult, we can literally...
It's not just our bikes that are in tandem, it's our brains that are in tandem.
Right.
And not only that, I'm thinking of a mechanism, Matt, where we get like... We like slingshot each other where the middle of the bike can disconnect if we have to split for like a bus or like an emergency.
Oh, shit.
And then it like reconnects back again afterwards.
But when we split, are our brains still linked? If it's in sports mode, yeah.
Yes.
Right? Because
it's a wireless connectivity, but it doesn't last long, so we have to be quick about these instances. That's for emergencies only.
But because both our brains are going at once and the bikes are like linked, we'll be able to do it super fast because, like I said, our thinking time, our reaction time, it's double the speed of a normal human. So we know exactly like how to calculate things to link back up to... I like this idea.
Sometimes we grab onto a fast car and use it to slingshot ourselves forward.
Dude, tandem bikes, that's something that when's the last time you saw two dudes on a tandem bike?
Probably like years ago when I went on like some beach trip in like Myrtle Beach area.
Yeah, it makes me like second guess, like, is this a mangina effect? Have those even ever existed?
Well, the thing is, in South, especially in South Carolina, I don't think I've ever seen two guys on a tandem bike. It's typically like a mom and a son, a mom and a daughter, a dad and a daughter, a dad and his son. You know, it's a mixture. A dad and his wife. I was about to say a dad and a mom.
A dad and a wife? Why not two adult male best friends that are both heterosexual men?
Well, in South Carolina, you'd get called gay, and you won't catch nobody getting called gay in South Carolina.
Well, you would catch that happening. It just wouldn't be happening to us.
No,
you would never catch it happening to you.
It would be happening to actual gay people in some sort of hateful, like spiteful, verbal onslaught.
Where when it happens to us, it's just unjust.
Yeah.
So,
and mean. It's not true.
Hey, it's not true. And then I go, stop, Ryan, stop. And you have to hit the brakes as well because it's a tandem bike. We both have to hit the brakes. If there's a miscommunication, and by the time we finally get to a stop and I turn around, whoever called us gay is long gone. And then I can't right the wrong of the situation. And then it's going to be on my mind.
And by the time you turn to me, I'm already like jogging in the exact opposite direction. Cause like he's just going to have to walk that alone. And maybe, I had to drop my girlfriend off. So, he'll come up with some excuse.
But then I literally have to walk it alone because one person can't ride a tandem bicycle. So I'm like, well, now I'm going to have to just walk next to the bike.
You could.
No, it doesn't work.
I think it does. It does.
No, it works, but it's difficult. There's too much to balance. There's too much. Think about the weight of the bike compared to just one person trying to pedal. I would have to walk next to the bike holding it.
You tie a big rock to the seat of the back end.
No, but that completely makes it harder. The weight of it is alleviated by two people pedaling. Not if one person is pedaling and not a second person, and there's a rock. You get
long sticks and you duct tape.
That doesn't make the pedaling
power. You duct tape
power.
your ankles, and you get another like stick type of thing and connect it to the other pedal. So whenever you're pedaling, the other pedals are pedaling as well. Two long sticks, duct tape your ankles to the end of
I see
one end of the stick.
All right, that might work.
Yeah, right? It's But am I supposed? We used to live with an engineer.
Am I supposed to do this just all like? The thing is, am I supposed to think this through and come up with this plan right after you ran away and we got called gay?
Well, you can still see me. It's
yeah, but
it's a flat, long road.
It's gonna take a while. Like I don't think I'm gonna be able to tape.
It's not like I'm gonna go over the horizon anytime soon. That would take a long time,
and that would take a round Earth, which isn't
a
thing. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to come up with this whole fix right after being called gay. Right after you leave me high and dry. I'm gonna be walking next to the bike pushing it. So
it sets you up for maybe a good. Maybe you're looking at it the wrong way. Maybe it sets you up for a good social interaction. You could, maybe there seems like to be like someone like an older gentleman or woman, if that you could start to be like, hey, I got this bike here, and it's just me, and it's a tandem bike.
It's a two-person bike, but there's only one of me.
Going up to people, be like, "You see where this is going?"
And she'll go, "Ew, what are you, gay?" And then she'll scoot off in her little smart car. Or, alternatively, an older gentleman could approach, and he'll offer like, "Hey, I'll I'll ride the
It'll
tandem
look like
bike
a
with you.
grandpappy and his grandson riding a
But then-
bicycle,
but
and
then-
it won't be.
Right.
It won't look as.
Yeah, but then I'm going to be hyper paranoid because I got called gay. And I'm going to be like, thanks, sir. And then I'm going to go, wait a second. What if he's coming on to me? What if he's trying to ride the bike because he wants to have gay sex with me?
Well,
and then I go, yeah, scram!
That's your own internalized homophobia.
Yeah,
you
but
need to
I
fight
can't
it
do
back.
anything about that.
Well, luckily, honestly, let's take a step back. Luckily, we don't have to worry about this anymore because we live in California, where I see dudes riding on tandem bikes all the time.
You do? You just said you haven't seen a tandem bike. Are you lying then or now?
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it's also a joke at the femininity of Los Angeles, or the perceived femininity of males in Los Angeles to those from the South.
I actually did have a tandem, or not me, but my family had a tandem bike in
You are
South
your
Carolina.
dad's son.
Let's go to ads.
You know that moment when you catch your reflection and notice your hairline creeping back? Well, Hims makes it simple to actually do something about it. That's right. I use Hims to keep my hair because I don't want that hair going anywhere except for on top of my beautiful head. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. And take it from me, those work. Find the right hair regrowth treatment for you with flexible subscription options, access to 24/7 provider support, and once-a-day treatment options that fit your daily routine. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/supermega. That's hims.com/supermega for your free online visit. Again, that's hims.com/supermega. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary, based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride.
次回のスーパーメガショー。
If I surprised, your birthday is month after next.
Mm-hmm.
How would you react if someone, not me necessarily, but just hypothetically, imagine if surprise tandem bicycle as a birthday present?
One, how are we going to transport it? I guess we ride it. But where would you bring it to the office?
Why are you putting me in this situation? I didn't say me. I said hypothetically.
Because you would be the one, I guess, doing the surprise. I'm going to
I never
surprise
said
myself.
that.
I'm going to surprise myself with a tandem
No,
bicycle.
I just said somebody else.
God?
If
Who?
they maybe
To get back in our good graces.
Ryan, I got you a tandem bike.
I start riding it with you when he intended it.
Yeah, like
to
he
be.
gets it, and I'm like, dude, thank you so much for this, Brent. And he got it like specifically as an obvious ploy to spend some more time with my good friend Ryan.
Yeah.
And then you and I just get on it. But he would have to expect that, right?
I mean, you and I are best friends. Of course. I mean, who else would I ride a tandem bicycle with?
Yeah, I guess the guy that got it for you, Brent, but whatever. It was expensive, but
We go way back. If, you knew me before you knew Matt, buddy.
that's true.
Which is very true.
But think about if we could see a pie chart, hours of time, of quality time spent. You and Brent, you and me.
You wouldn't be able to see the color that represents Brent.
No,
It would be like a line. Maybe.
I mean, realistically, the quality of time we've spent
Think about the
together is-
podcast, the Let's Plays, the personal free times,
Just
the
all of
late
it.
nights, the early mornings.
Actually, I do wonder now if you put all that time together, you probably would not even be able to see Brent's measly 0.1%.
No. Well, now think about this, Matt. Our parents did have a head start, but think of your parents on one color and then me on another. At what point, on our charts, we would be able to see each other, but how much is that getting? Because, we went through, near 2 decades of consistently being
Around parents.
Yeah.
But when you're older, you're not around your parents as much, because you're at school. And then when you get home from school, you see them, for me, it's I got home from school, and then I would usually be going pretty much straight to work until
Yeah.
like 11 p.m.
Oh yeah,
My
like
parents
later
are
in
already
high
asleep.
school.
Yeah.
If it was
So-
earlier, I just go play video games.
Exactly. So I'm thinking like, where you and I for the last decade, we have been consistently around each other. So it's I don't know. They might be rivaling.
I wonder if it's even do you think it's nearing a 50-50 split, or do you think it's more like 30-70?
Of just like time spent.
Uh-huh. Because you got to think, like, you grown up for years, you know, they had a whole decade
Yeah.
where their whole life was just being around you and looking after you, essentially.
Yeah, that's true. Probably not 50-50. Probably parents are still, but I would say it's creeping up on there, you know, because you don't count like time when you're asleep or like.
No.
I'm counting
It's like when you're actively participating
Right.
in a social
when you're together.
instance. Yeah.
Like,
when you're
and I'm
together.
not talking like my mom's all the way in the other room and we're both awake. But
You're like both watching a movie.
Yeah,
You're
like-
both
like
in the
we
same
are-
room looking at your phone.
we're spending time together. I think, yeah, it would be the most in my whole life would be probably my mom, and then you, and then my dad, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you also have to think about it from my parents' point of view. They truly had a 50-50 split.
That's true. That's
so
true.
they, one of them will have 33%, 33%, and then maybe you do take up that other 33%.
Shit, if you split the parents, so they're not like one unit on this chart. I might have them both beat.
I mean, think about it. They only got to see me, unless it was like a holiday or birthday. Really, it was stuck to the week.
Shit, ours actually would look very different though, because I feel like for the most part, mine would be the parents would be pretty overlapping, where yours were like you did see each parent half as much as like I would have seen my parents, because my parents
Rub it in.
They loved each other.
No, well, are we forgetting the big plot point that happened near a decade ago?
Actually, I saw
They were getting back together?
no.
Your mom obviously is the problem.
No, obviously. I saw something on Facebook that was very interesting, where it was a reminder of essentially when the last time I saw my parents together, like, was as one like familial unit. And 9 years ago today was when my parents were visiting LA for like which was like the last time I really saw them together before my mom went and blew the whole thing up.
I mean, it's the clear difference of you going, oh, when your parents kiss, and then now it would just be weird if you saw them kiss.
Exactly.
It would be like, yo, whoa.
Almost a decade, yeah, you're right.
Fellas.
9 years ago. And speaking of decades, yesterday, at the time of recording this podcast, yesterday was exactly one capital D decade since we started SuperMega.
Yep. That's 10 whole years, you guys. Can
That's
you
crazy.
believe it?
That is crazy. Like, there is. I saw that the viewership, all of you watching, there many people did incredibly wholesome tributes. I saw there's a SuperMega zine project. Very cool. Everyone should check that out. And
I saw a lot of art posted
Yeah.
and such. That's super sweet. Diet Mayonnaise had like I didn't know how talented they were with the 3D graphics stuff.
Oh, very, very, yeah.
So
People just left and right were making stuff, and we were busy getting the final render of a sketch all did up. But I genuinely, I just want to say a quick word. I cannot believe it has been 10 years since we started SuperMega. I have never in my life had a project or anything that's lasted even a percentage
it's a
point.
third of our life has been this channel.
Dude, you're right. Holy shit, because I am exactly 30, and now SuperMega is exactly 10, which means that I'm at the point
how
where
old were you
literally-
when we were you? You were
I had just turned 20.
20, yeah. Literally a third of your fucking life. And mine. I mean, and the grand scheme, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
crazy.
that much like of a...
I mean, if we looked at the pie charts of this, it would. Dude, a third is huge.
A third voice crack?
That's my voice is cracking left and right today, dude. I hope Luke hasn't been putting up a counter this time.
Did he ever?
He did. Luke was coyly saving them while editing, just to put a compilation in later on.
wait, has the compilation come out?
Yeah.
When like randomly a compilation just happened?
He put it in some episode. From what I remember, I mean, maybe he had a change of heart and did the right thing and didn't.
I'm trying to think of when he would put it in. Did we ask for it?
No, I think he just had it ready to go at one point. I just remember him showing me. And
just instead of ad reads? Or he just still has it and he's adding to it every time he cuts it out, blades it, or he just like ins, outs, exports to this folder that has them all and he's just going to put them all in a project.
God, I hope not.
Gotcha. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I don't know why my voice cracks the way it does. You know, I'm not... Yeah, I am 30, so it's not like puberty is...
Maybe you're still nervous around me. Like the first day you met me, you're still just as nervous, which is a good sign of a healthy relationship.
I mean, yeah, I am... yes, I am still nervous around you, but at the same time, yeah, you know what? Because this doesn't really happen at home. Maybe it's just because I'm not warming my vocal cords up before we start recording, because it's like... going back to pie charts, Ryan, if you looked at my day and the amount of talking I do leading up to the podcast, it's a very small percentage of my day, where most of it is going to be right here on this podcast.
Think about Danny, who's someone who does do vocal warm-ups extensively before any sort of recording, and you do essentially none.
Yeah, because Danny will, before a Game Grumps Let's Play, you and I remember, he would come back here in this exact room that we're sitting in right now.
Yep.
And he would go...
He'd turn off all the lights, draw the curtains. That's what you said he said last time.
And we goofed on it, but when did you ever hear Danny's voice crack once?
No.
I never heard it once. Where meanwhile...
Aaron. Well, that's because he was always fucking on...
Well, a little bit of that. Also, Aaron, whippets is a big thing of his.
He was addicted to whippets and malt liquor.
Still addicted to both those things.
Well, now he doesn't drink the liquor. He uses it as the filtration, like in his bong.
Yeah,
He still is obsessed with bongs, which
right.
He to them he's still like whenever he brings it out. It's like I can tell he does it every time he has someone over. It's not just me. He'll bring it out with this face of like.
It's almost like a I don't know, like a ninth grader that has a bong, and this is in like South Carolina where marijuana is illegal. Like going back like 15 years, being in high school, and you wouldn't expect to see a bong in South Carolina. So if a friend was like, "Yo, dude, check it out," you'd be like, "Holy shit!" You could tell that Aaron kind of has that mindset where he thinks that everyone's going to react like that, where it's like...
Even if you've smoked with him and he smoked you up several times.
Well, he's not going to remember. Between the weed, the whippets, and the malt liquor. That does a number on your memory. I mean, I'm surprised he even remembers my name. Sometimes he gets it. He calls me Ryan and calls you Matt. But, I mean, a lot of people do that, so... That might not be the substances he's abusing. That could more so just be...
Hey, there was a fan I ran into recently who actually did that same thing.
Really?
And I yelled.
Good.
And I looked at everyone around and said, "I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry that I'm being so loud, but you have to understand. This idiot just confused me for my best friend."
And when you yelled and everyone went, and they stopped and they were giving you a look, and they were looking daggers at you,
which made me more mad and upset and embarrassed.
Right, but then as soon as you said, "This idiot confused me for my best friend," those piercing daggers, they were looking at you, they went, and they went right on that fan. And he's probably still feeling it.
He was very sweet. It was funny because he apologized and was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and he was nervous. And then afterwards, he's like, "Sorry, it's just like." And what's weird is like I just saw Ryan last month, and he like did it a second time, but I didn't like call him out.
You didn't scream that time?
I didn't call him out. I actually did. I told him to leave the fucking store.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good. No, sometimes that happens to me where someone will
Ryan?
come up to me and they'll call me Ryan, and I'm so chapped red with anger that I have to. Sometimes I'll just go. I'll just ignore them. I mean, sometimes I'll. Recently, there was one fan that called me Ryan, and I pantsed him to get him back. But apparently, that makes I thought that there was a cop nearby, and I thought that the cop would arrest
Who
him.
had one out? Cop. Sorry.
Oh yeah, well there was a cock because I pantsed him. But the thing
And he
was,
wasn't wearing any underwear.
Yeah.
Or he's wearing the kind of underwear where there's a hole in it because it's an elephant themed underwear.
yeah, the barn door was wide open, and I got arrested for that, not him, which was just stupid. in my
Unfair.
opinion. What is that? You guys hear that?
They don't. We do.
Luke might if Luke boosts the audio, you might
There's
be able to hear that.
no. Every time we ask him to boost the audio, they
For
can
that
never
part though,
hear.
there has to be like that was definitely audible.
I mean, it's just them probably taking down, putting up more decorations for the next birthday party. to
I
be
swear,
had.
yeah. The directly below
below
this
us.
room, below our soundproofed recording studio, is
Both soundproof.
both
recorders.
sound. Yeah, there is a an establishment that decides to have really loud parties with.
Yes. And sometimes they'll play "Mary Had a Little Lamb." I was hoping they were going to play "Mary Had a Little Lamb," or
How crazy would that have been though?
well, maybe they don't know "Mary Had a Little Lamb."
Well, all the music they play is like strictly like Armenian or
I was
Middle
saying,
Eastern.
hoping they would tap "Mary Had a Little Lamb" or "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." It's the same song.
Same thing. My brain tricked me for a second, and I was like, no. Or ABCs, also the same song. Well, now they just don't want to do any of it. They're like, nope, that's it. But maybe they're taking down some piñatas to put some new ones up. And I'm sure that means if someone's down there right now putting up decorations, that means that I'm sure... What time is it?
5:27 p.m.
I bet...
Pacific Standard Time.
Well, I bet it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That means a party's going to start down there.
Holy moly, guacamole!
Yeah, right? Which means we're going to be in here recording a podcast, and it's going to really,
Well,
really loud.
we might be done by then. Well, it would be the members only portion that we would probably start to hear that in.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you guys stick around and if you're subscribed to the Patreon and watch the members, watch the special Super Mega Junior episode for this one, you might get to hear whatever great party voice crack. Yeah, I know. You might get to hear whatever great party's going on downstairs. Why does my voice do this? Is it truly?
You don't do your warm-ups.
I'm wondering if that's why. Because my vocal cords, maybe they're tired and limp.
Ooh, child, things. You gotta start singing like.
Do you think maybe if I did some warm-ups right now real quick, it would stop happening? Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M.
Not quite my time. Not quite my tempo.
Fucking J.K. Simmons there. Nope, not quite my tempo. One more time. Mommy made me. Nope. Are you dragging or trailing? Or what does he say?
I can't remember, dude. Although it's kind of sad I don't remember because I legitimately saw that movie 7 times in theaters.
Are you serious?
It was like 5 or 7. It's one. Okay, so Cabin in the
Really?
Woods and Whiplash.
Whipper.
I saw one of them 7, one of them 5. I'm
Dude,
sure.
no
I think
fucking
Whiplash
way.
was 7.
That's crazy. I've never. So my max of a movie in theaters was White Boy Alert. And my voice cracked again. It was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World when I was in like 9th grade. I saw that one 3 times in theaters.
I think I saw it once, and then I wanted to see it a second time on my own, and then I saw it with like one of my parents, and then I went to go see it alone again. Then I saw it with like a significant other. I ended up seeing. So maybe that was the 5-time one. And Cabin in the Woods was. I can't remember.
That's crazy though. 5 times.
Yeah.
I saw. Scott Pilgrim was 3, and that was because like I saw it once, and then I saw it with a friend, and then I think I saw it with another friend.
Like do it different friend groups and
stuff.
stuff.
And then there was This Is the End. I saw that one 3, maybe 4 times. Same thing where it's like I saw it, and then I went with different friends, and I was like, this is so funny. I have to see it again.
You'll be jealous. You know, for my birthday one year, I went to go see This Is the End. Would you know who in South Carolina came to the theater with me and my buddies?
Your dad?
Nope. I'll give you one more guess. Think about the time period. This Is the End. Like what year? You know, think of me.
Markiplier?
Yep.
No way, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yep. At my 19th or 20th, I can't remember which one. One of those birthday parties.
It's so funny that like you
There's
have
a picture of him in my kitchen in South Carolina.
It's so funny though because it's like this massive internet celebrity that has had a movie in like theaters now that's been interviewed by Larry King twice. Like just going back, and it's like, yeah, he came with me and my friends to go see This Is the End for my 19th birthday in South Carolina. Like, It's just very funny.
He's like in a picture with like a birthday cake and stuff, and like hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Dude, please, if you could find that, I would love to see that picture. Because I forgot, you met Markiplier before he was like really big. Like you and Daniel met him when he still had like 50,000 subs.
Yes.
So like
he was like just climbing essentially.
And yeah, you guys found him and emailed him to collab, and he was like, I would love to. And then a friendship was born.
Oh, which is crazy.
You know what's crazier? Ad reads.
Oh my goodness, that's right. We're going to talk about it, and by it, I mean Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And it's easy to get started. They even have their own design studio. They have hundreds of ready-to-use templates that help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. Also, Shopify helps you get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. We here at SuperMega love Shopify. Not only does it help us keep things organized and well-maintained whenever we're doing merch sales and the like, but it also creates such an immense amount of fun that just can't be toppled. It's time to turn those what-ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/super. Go to shopify.com/super. Again, that's shopify.com/super. Something happens when you get older. Believe me, I know. You still celebrate 420, you just gotta plan it way better. It turns out, relaxing responsibly just takes a little more strategy than it used to. That's where IndaCloud makes it easy. IndaCloud is a fully legal online cannabis dispensary for gummies, exotic flower, premium pre-rolls, and zero sugar THC sodas. A clean, alcohol-free way to unwind without turning one good decision into 3 questionable ones. Everything is federally legal hemp THC, lab tested, and shipped discreetly to your door. And for 420 season, new customers get 40% off all month long with IndaCloud's biggest sale of the year. SuperMega love IndaCloud. And that's me, Ryan McGee, saying that. I know if Matt were here, he'd agree with me as well. We just love chewing on those gummies and feeling pretty sly for 2 white guys. 420 hits different when you wake up feeling functional. If you're 21 or older and a new customer, go to indacloud.co. That's .co, not .com. And use code SuperMega for 40% off your first order. That's indacloud.co, code SuperMega for 40% off all month long. Shipped discreetly to your door. Plus, free shipping on orders over $50 and $30 in free gifts and qualifying orders. And don't forget to fill out the quick survey when you order to support the show. Please enjoy responsibly, and big thanks to IndaCloud for supporting your 420 plans. tell you the consistency and color?
No. It tells me the weight, though. Well, it tells me Doopy's weight before and after.
So you can know how heavy that poop was.
Well, it'll tell me like the weight that the litter box like registered whenever she used it, and I can compare it to the last one. Sometimes it'll be like a whole pound or some shit, which has to just be a mistake.
I don't know. Maybe holds a lot of shit.
That's true. We're back from the commercial break, and Ryan couldn't find the picture. I did text Ryan's sweet mother.
We'll throw it up here if we found it.
Here it is.
Had to have been found.
I'm sure it was found.
And if it wasn't found, something else is there. I don't know what.
That's up to Luke.
Yeah.
Hopefully Luke doesn't put a picture from his birthday party, which Markiplier was not at.
Nope.
By the way. But I'm sure Luke would have enjoyed that if Markiplier had showed up to his 19th birthday party.
If only.
If only.
19th or 20th. I think it was 19th.
Well, it better be, because I told your mom. I said, parentheses, 19th, question mark?
Okay.
I put the question mark for plausible.
She'll respond
deniability.
fast, too. Typically.
She's usually super fast at replying to me. She has a special text tone.
That's
and
not
everything.
all that happens fast when you and her are together, which she still has a problem with, and you need to.
And I don't know why she's talking to me.
I don't know
about
if it's
this.
the medication.
No,
that
I don't
you're
know.
on,
I don't know
or-
why she is even bringing this up to anyone but me. Because she hasn't.
She
mentioned
says
it to
even
me.
looking at it, like.
You know.
But.
Well, I would think it's actually. I would think the medication would do the opposite, because, I take antidepressants, and that makes it take longer to ejaculate. So overall, I figured that they actually prescribe antidepressants to people who prematurely ejaculate to keep it from happening. So I thought I would have no problem, but sometimes when your mom...
Well, my mom's a hell of a woman.
I know, and sometimes just the second I see the vagina, I don't even feel it, like, coming on. It just sometimes I don't feel it at all. I just look down and I'm like, oh, I guess it happened.
Wait,
So-
what happened?
Ejaculate.
What? You eject? What are you, a pilot?
No, you know what I'm saying. I ejac.
You pre-ejac.
Well, no, because pre-ejac could also imply pre-ejaculate, which could be pre-coming. I wasn't pre-coming.
Well,
I was
apparently
full
with the
coming.
consistency, that's all that's coming out.
That's a medication issue. But the timing of it is not. I don't know. Why is she talking to you about this stuff? Isn't that weird?
I'm her only son, dude.
I guess maybe it's different.
Who's someone to gab to but their only son?
That's true. And I guess she can't talk to Jim about it.
No, he'd
Yeah.
get jealous.
Yeah, rightfully so.
And
And
then he understands, because with a woman like that, like, one man can't hold her down,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Try as you might.
I mean,
She's a free spirit.
three men can't even. I remember that one time. She was publicly intoxicated, and
She'd just been huffing some gamma radiation.
well, it was spray paint, but whatever she told you to make it
Of
easier,
course, I
right?
was doing a Hulk joke. Cause
No, I know you were, but what I'm saying is I don't know if she actually told you that, and
Well,
she was intoxicated on paint fumes.
okay.
And I don't want you to I don't want her to sugarcoat things too much. But she was intoxicated, and the police were there.
Jim is diabetic.
Well, they couldn't. Three police officers, grown men, couldn't hold her down. And
Well, she worked for the federal law enforcement. She's got moves in and out of the bedroom.
I'd like to see some of those moves that are not sexual. Because that's the thing with my relationship with her is I don't want to say surface level, but there's a lot that I feel like I wish I knew about her that I just don't feel like she lets me in enough to, like...
You're just needy. She's got to keep you at arm's length.
Why is she's talking to you about this too then?
It's just, I think it's just your personality type. That's all.
What's all? What do you mean? I care about her.
And she appreciates that, as much as you care about her, and she sees that you put in a lot of effort to keep in contact, but at the end of the day,
Why doesn't she tell me this stuff? Why do I have to hear it from her son?
I mean, well, she has better things to do than to make to stroke your ego or make you feel better. And you're just asking me, but this is just a conversation. She's not telling me to tell you.
Are you sure? It's very specific.
I mean, she says say whatever you want. I mean, what do you mean it sounds so specific?
I mean, it sounds like you know specifics about our relationship.
I mean, I do.
Yeah, so she's telling you these things.
Yes. That's not up for debate, but she's not telling me to tell you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just using the information.
Well, I know that, but I'm upset that she's not telling me these things and that I have to find out through you.
That's a you problem. That's her words, not mine.
Okay, well,
that's a Matt problem.
As long as it's her. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of flustered now, and it's not.
She does this to motherfuckers, dude. She is a
motherfuckers.
Huh? I mean,
who else is she doing this to?
I'm not gonna say she has a line or a list or a booklet, but
Cecile's black book is real. Yeah, but she's a hell of a woman. But dude, it's one of those things where every time I say but I'm half expecting you to do the tss.
How can I not? We're a comedy channel.
And
the but tss is like one of the most comedic sounds. It tells
Possibly
it tells you this was a joke, laugh.
It lets the viewer know that, guess what? It's laughing time. Yeah, in case you might have missed that there was a joke right there, because Matt and Ryan's humor does tend to go over the heads of quite a few of their listeners.
Because we're so smart, intelligent, and witty.
Good timing, good wit, good
impeccable taste,
good cheer, all those things. And our viewers, they're great, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them, they wouldn't know a joke if it fucked them in the ass. So that right there is it's good to tell them sometimes, like, hey, that's a joke, go ahead and laugh. But
again, it's a comedy channel. You think it comes with the
territory.
But then some people could be like, this is a comedy channel? This is news to me. And if I see a comment like that, it would break my heart. Fuck, they're just gonna comment.
Just end it. Just stop it, Luke. The ping pong ball hits the ball a little too hard, and it goes right into his throat.
You see it from the side. You see the surprise angle, and the camera rotates around to see a perfect hole that went through his forehead.
Yeah, you see the ball go, and you're like, what? What happened? And then the camera rotates, and it's just perfectly lodged in his forehead.
With some smoke.